हेलो गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन वेलकम सुस्वागतम। आप सबको होली की बहुत सारी कामनाएं। विश यू हैप्पी होली। एंड होली की तरह आपके जीवन में भी इसी तरह नए नए रंग आते रहे एंड आपकी लाइफ एकदम कलरफुल हो जाए ऐसी शुभकामनाएं। तो आप सबको होली की एकदम शुभकामनाएं। एंड स्वागत है आप सबका आज के हमारे 31st सेशन में। सो टुडे वी विल इनवाइट अमल दास। He will speak on career guidance for mid-level professional. He is a very eminent speaker and having very huge industry exposure. So let us invite him and let us hear more from him. Yes, Amaldas, Sarji, welcome. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. We are really happy to have you on this platform, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is our 31st session, and uh, we are happy that audience is enjoying our live session. So, audience, if you can hear us properly, then do type in hi, do type in good evening, do type in happy Holi, and join our session. Let us start the session. We will give a brief intro about Amaldas, and we will start the session. So, uh, yes, shall we start, sir?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so Amal Kumar Das is MA, MBA, and Diploma in Training and Development. He has 3 decades of industry experience, including 15 years of experience in strategic talent acquisition and board inductions. He specializes in human resources and corporates in the domain of engineering projects and infrastructure, EPI, telecom, life sciences, financial services, and FMCG. He has worked in world-class organizations such as Jindal Organization, Shalimar Paints, CHR Global, ISER, and UTI in strategic and operational HR, talent acquisitions, and assessment area. In the field of talent acquisition, uh, Amal in his career has closed strategic hires in groups like Uttam Galva Metallics Limited, SR Oil Limited, Leela Group, Reliance Private Equity, Tata Steel, Idea Cellular, L&T, amongst the others. He has successfully assessed competencies, leadership styles in organizations such as Jindal Group, Kaltar Group, Saraf Group, Dubai, Makan Steel, Peerless Group, Nagode Group Africa. Currently, Amaldas has developed partners in selection, execution, leadership consulting, assessments, and partnership with the B schools in India, IIM Kashipur, KSMO, and KIIT University. Amalda is also passionate about assessments, coaching, and mentoring entrepreneurs, especially in the SME segments. Uh, Amal is presently the director and partner at XPM India WIL Group. Amal is also in the HR committee of Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industries BCCI for the second term. And currently he is nominated as chairman for ERA Executive Recruiters Association for the term of April 2020 to March 2022. So very huge experience. We call Amal sir, प्यार से हम उनको अमल दा बुलाते हैं हमारे रिक्रूटमेंट फ्रेटर्निटी में. सो आई अमल दा विथ योर परमिशन आई कॉल यू अमल दा ड्यूरिंग द सेशन. या बिकॉज फॉर मी यू आर लाइक अ फादर फिगर. तो आपको अमल कह के बुलाना थोड़ा मेरे लिए ऑड फील होता है. सो आई कॉल यू अमल दा थ्रू दिस सेशन. Yes, Himal Kumar ji, happy Holi. Thanks for joining in. And yes, Amalda, please start the session and give us a brief about you, which I have not covered. It's a humongous experience, I must say. So please start the session. Tell us more about you. Tell us more about today's topic, and then we'll start with the question and answers. So over to you, Amalda.
Thank you, Vipul. Wish you all a happy Holi to our organizers and all the participants. And welcome. I must say that this is an opportunity to be with all of you who are present, and I look forward to having an interactive session with you all. In the career that I've had as such, if I divide it into two parts, one is when I was with the corporate, working for some of the business houses and multinational companies, and the second phase has been with startups. So it is almost, I would put it as say, equally divided. And I am very happy that I would have taken the plunge at a much young age to move from the corporate to consulting, and with that also in HR consulting with specialization in talent acquisition. That is something which I have enjoyed and I still enjoy as such. Having interviewed more than 300,000 candidates till now,
Amazing.
which may be, bigger than the population of some of the European countries as such.
Yes, amazing. Yeah.
Once when you get into it, you just can't get off because you keep on enjoying it, but that becomes your passion. And that's where we are. Vipul has also already mentioned the type of organizations that I have worked. The area of career guidance for mid level executives, when I say that, is because most organizations they do not put emphasis on giving career guidance to the employees who are having say between 5 to 15 years of experience. And what do these people do? They are, very much motivated by what their colleagues says about the organization, about the opportunities which their batchmates are having in different other organizations, or they hopefully they get a mentor within the organization or outside. Now all these are by accident, not by design. So what I found was that if a person passes out from an institute, and two of them if they are there, you will find that after few years their career trajectory is very different. The first part of their career they may be progressing almost the same way with minor variations depending upon the company and the largeness of the company or what is the other size of the organization. But the real game starts after that because you have to hit the top spot. You have to see that you are able to find a niche by which you excel. How does one do that at the mid level? Where does this one go to? I think these are some of the questions that we will like to answer over here. The reason why I'm saying is let me divide my talk in a way by which we are able to understand that what are the things which we should look for when we are looking at the juncture of a mid-level executive. Your 5, 7, 10 years of experience that you have spent in an organization is actually not experience. It is time spent, but you have to convert it into experience, which means that something else is required. What is that else? We'll get into it, and I invite questions on that. For getting higher productivity for the same time that you spend, what do you need to do? What are the focus areas for that? How do you make choices between one function and the other? Working in the corporate, or working in the plant, or working in sales and marketing regional offices? What does one do? How do you then do career management? Now, when I say career management, is what are the things which are required for you to move into top management positions? Do you leave it to the organizations to develop you, or the onus of development you take yourself, because it's your life, it's not somebody else. So how does one go about doing that as such? And ultimately, what is your lodestar? When I say lodestar, is what are the life and values for success? So these are broadly the way in which I would like to cover through my experience. And lastly, how does organization like Hindustan Lever, now Unilever, which is known as the crucible for managers, so how do they manage the career of the people who join them? And how do Indian organizations also, like Tata's, they manage the organization profile and the growth of the organizations as such? So, Vipul, I'm open for questions and let us start that so that we
Yeah.
are able to cover. I've given a broad
Yes.
canvas, but we'll try to attempt and
Yes.
see
Yes.
how much
You
we
have.
can respond to.
Yes, sir. You have briefed very well. Let us start the session with the first question. So, this question is one of the viewer that I've been working in present company for last 10 years. So, should I move? Since we have floated our this about this session on social media and we have invited questions. So, this is the question we have received by one viewer. So, please answer that.
You see, the times have changed. What you pack in the time that you spend in an organization is more important than the years. So I think that is something which you would need to, look into. And what do I mean by that? Say, for example, you are in the field of sales. What are the different experiences that you are going through? Developing dealers, developing the end users, developing the channels, what exactly you are doing. And each of them you have to take in as a project. When you are given a job description that you will, as a sales manager, do the following, you have to not only fulfill it but also defy it by taking on projects yourself, which may not have been put into your JD or the job description. Why I say that, when a review comes, you are also doing certain projects which are outside the view. But you may come back and say that, okay, look, I have only 8 hours or 9 hours. How do I do that as such? That is the university that you have to enter of continuous learning, application, learning. And that has to go on. And it will be, I'm sorry to say, but I'm also happy that many people take it as a lifelong journey. So you have to, which the 10 years that you are talking about, what are the different projects that you have done and what results you have achieved out of that, which is beyond sales grown from X to Y, margins grown from X to Y, or from number of distributors, they have grown from X to Y. Those are the usual parameters. But can you give examples of when there was a problem in Telangana region and you were working in Mumbai, you put your hand up and say, give me 3 months. I would like to go and see what it is. If we can, do something of that sort. That is something which people are looking for in resume. They are not just looking only for the years that you have spent and you have progressed. You might be good in the present job, but are you good for future responsibilities? That is how organization look at. So the 10 years, I do not know. You must answer that question yourself. In these 10 years, what is the value that I have added to myself and the organization, which is beyond the increments that I get, which is beyond the bonuses that I get. Those are the rewards. But the biggest reward would be when you can say that I am ready not for the next job, but I am ready for the job which is above that, the skip level job. So you always have to get ready for that. If you think you are doing that, it's fine.
So you rightly said that beyond increments and beyond promotions, you should also do something for the value addition. So what exactly anyone can do for the value addition? Or like, it's a general question. So what I can do for value addition, what anyone can do for the value addition in current times?
Yes, in the current times, and more so because of the last 2.5 years that we have gone through, it's a complete tsunami as far as the job profile of people has changed. The reason why I'm saying is that many of the middle management jobs have disappeared. They are no longer there and they will not be there.
Very
So
true.
let us understand that very clearly. The second one is that newer inputs have come in. If you are able to do, say, if you are in sales and marketing or you are in HR, if you are able to crunch data for the business that you are doing, it will be a great help. Let me give you an example as such. I get lot of requirements for sales data analytics who will advise the head of sales and marketing which are the areas where we are growing, whether the margins are more or less, which are the customers where we are losing, which are the untapped markets where we are not there but the competition is there. Now everybody in sales and marketing would be tracking that. But at the complete apex level, if you can give that project details and work directly with the head of sales and marketing, you will find that you are the person. You have a complete grip of the macro environment. So if you are doing a job like this, you should put your hands up and say, I would like to do the job. In HR, if you are able to say very clearly that how we can reduce the cycle time of hiring from what it is, what was there, say, in last quarter to this year, and you work on that project backwards, it may not be in your job description, but you take on and say that I would like to work on this project as such. Mind you, people will be after you. So that's how you add value to your career as such. You are in plant, and when you're working in a plant, you are, whether you are in operations, whether you are in maintenance, whether you are looking after utilities, any of these functions as such, there is a element which is known as chronic problems where troubleshooting is required. Are you the person who raises the hand and say that Nike, I will give it a try? You also don't know whether you'll be able to solve the problem or not. But the very fact that you have come out and you have volunteered for it, this will be something which you should, go in for. If you come out with good results, nothing like it. But if it's not, you will definitely be looking at, when you go to organizations, they'll be asking you the question, please tell me where you have failed. Don't hesitate to say that, Anaki, I failed in this, but my learnings are these. When you say that, you are at a different level altogether. Okay. So I consider this to be a way by which you are expanding your entire learning experience, being in the same organizations. So if you take two people or three people of the same category in different departments, they are spending same time, but their learning will be exponentially very different, one from the other.
Very rightly said. You rightly said value addition can be done by various ways. You rightly nailed it that you should be the flag bearer. आपको lead करना है, आपको आगे बढ़ना है. You should set an example. So that is very epic one. Uh, Now, moving on with the next question, like I'm working in a corporate office marketing function for let's say at least last 2 3 years 4 years, and there is a opening in sales. Should I move?
Yeah, this is a dilemma that many of the people say that, and like, look, I want to do product management. I would like to do brands because in the campuses and all these are very, hot favorites which are there. Nothing wrong with that as such, which is fine. But you will be better all rounded if you get this total experience as such. So here I'm talking about the marketing function. Now let me give you an example. This is a live example. There is this organization which is Unilever now. It was Hindustan Lever. A management trainee had joined from the campus and he was put in sales, which is quite the reverse of what I'm trying to tell, but the principle is very clear. That person was posted in Dhulia district, and at that point in time, which is what I'm talking about, is about 35 years back, maybe even 38 years back as such. He had to travel from Nasik to Dhulia every day and meet the distributors and take their orders, see the fulfillment part of it, and the evening come back, all by state transport bus. And he came from one of the best institutes in the country. So within 3 months, or maybe 3.5 months, he got fed up, and he was the only son. So his parents were very worried that he was not getting proper food, and the journey was something which was very hectic. His hours were long because if he missed the bus in the evening, then he had to put up in some lodge there, which were not, the best of the places. You know what I'm saying. So what he did was he wrote to the vice chairman and director personnel saying, "Sir, I would like to have an appointment with you. Can I meet you?" So he was given an appointment. So he came over to Bagby Reclamation, where the head office was at that time, and said, "Sir, I would like to resign." So he said, "Why? What happened?" He said, "My parents are worried that I'm not getting proper food. I am not able to, what you call, get proper transport. And I come from the best of the institutes and a merit holder. I didn't know that the sales job is like this. So if you could please, what you call, put me in a tier one city, at least where I can get proper food, the proper transport is there. My mother is very worried. She said, you're not getting proper food. So that is not something which, we are liking. So that's the reason why, my parents are worried and I am also worried over here. At that point in time, the mobile was not there. So the vice chairman and director personnel told our management salesperson who had joined as a management trainee, would you make me speak to your father? So a trunk call was booked, and the father came online, and naturally he was very flabbergasted that it has come to such a level that the vice chairman is, talking to him. So he said, "Sir, your son said that these are the problems that he's facing." Well, yes, we are also very worried, and it is very difficult for us to be not worried because he's our only son. So the HR person told him that, "Naki, look, you have taken care of him for the last 22 years. Let Hindustan Lever then take care of him for the rest of his life. Because why 1 year, 2 year? In the next 5 years also, he will not go beyond Digboy and Chikmagalur. Only after that, probably he will get a posting in a tier one city." So the parents were very much this one that, and he said, "Yes, of course." So he said, "No, your son has to take a decision what to do." The son took the decisions to stay back. And the person that I'm talking to you about rose to become the vice chairman of Hindustan Lever and joined the Tata Sons board, Mr. Gopal Krishnan. So these examples abound, which are there, where you have to make choices because of certain things by which you don't like the place, you don't like the function that you're doing, you want to get into another function, the larger functions as such. So these choices, I'm not saying that this is the only way that you can solve the problem, but you have to look at from that point of view. Is it going to value add my career? And in his book, he has said very clearly, Mr. Gopalakrishnan, that it helped him to know rural India, where my products sell. So if you ask me, X dealer and Y dealer as such, he will tell him by name, first name. You're talking about him. That is the rapport that you create as such. So when you do brand building, when you do product management as such, that becomes so much more useful. So look at from that point of view. Yes, Vipul.
Yes, sir. Excellent example, sir. It will be inspiring for anyone. So now the next question is, I if anyone has a experience of 12 years, I have 12 years of experience in operations department. So should I move to corporate office role inside or outside the organization?
You see, I'll just give you an example as such. You see, there was this person who had joined as an engineer trainee, and he was in the plant, and he moved from maintenance to operations. He did that, and then he went into the what is known as PPC, production planning and control. All these things he had done. So he was really wondering that where am I getting, because he was not old enough to become the plant head. He still had to put in more years, and more or less he had gone through all the functions, so to say, excepting maybe a stint in logistics, which he could have picked up for about 7 or 8 months, and he would have done that also. So now in the corporate office, you see that there was this team which came in, which is McKinsey had come in, and they wanted people from different areas, from sales, marketing, operations, who could become members of their team to implement change in the organization as such. When he got this opportunity and it was advertised internally, he put his hands up and said, "Okay, look, I would like to, get into this because it was adding value to the way in which the work is being done." So this is one example by which the person could move from the plant to the head office. The company was setting up a new plant, and they wanted people who would like to be part of the entire project team. So there, another person, he put his hands and said, "Anaki, look, I have got 7 years of experience, but I don't have experience in setting up a project. So I would like to become a member of the team which sets up the project as such." That again would be a value add as far as the person is concerned. Now, how does the organization gain and how does the person gain? The organization gain because you already have somebody inside the organization who understands the ethos, who understands the culture, who understands what they are going to manufacture, because it's an extension of that. So that is how the organization gains. This person gains personally because he has never handled projects. So he will put all his whatever knowledge is there into seeing and learn a new function, which is project management. So I think it works both ways as to, and you should always look out for opportunities like this. Many people, you see, there was a survey which was done where it has been brought out. This survey was of organizations cutting across all functions, different industries, that 29% of the people who were interviewed inside the organizations did not believe that they can grow in their present organization. If that be so, these are the people the organization is losing, perhaps. Even if half of them, a quarter of them, we are able to retain by moving them to different assignments, this loss would not have been there. But of course, maybe it would be a loss to the revenues of our recruitment companies. That is what I can say.
Well, well said. Well answered. So, we also have got few live questions. We will definitely cover them after the at the end of the session. So, you can keep asking the questions if that will be relevant. And कई बार ऐसा भी होता है कि आपके जो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं मे बी ऐसा होता है कि सेशन एंड अप होते होते वो कवर हो जाता है. तो अगर वो कवर हो जाता है तो इट्स वेल एंड गुड. अगर नहीं वो कवर नहीं हुआ होगा तो वी विल डेफिनेटली कवर दैट during at the end of the session. So the next question is a very crucial question in the current time, because it's the time of startup. Government of India is also promoting startup India by doing campaigns for startup India. So if anyone if I have experience of 13 to 15 years in corporate or in any because 13-15 years experience is a huge experience. So should I join any startup if I'm getting an call or any opportunity from them?
Yes, so let me start with my own example as such. You see, I had already reached the position of a director in an organization, and if I had been moving, it would be in similar type of jobs and maybe more money. But I thought, let me get into, starting an organization, co-starting an organization with another of my colleague, and then get into and pitch for the search business. So that is what started. Now, what were the things which were coming in the way? Number one is your children are studying, so you have to pay them fees. And if they are in good schools and all, the fees are also more. You are used to staying in a company accommodation, which may be, a 3-bedroom accommodation. But when you are on your own, so maybe you have to start with 1 bedroom, which I did. Okay, that was the second. The third is that you would have been used to maybe say 2 cars, one for the family and one for yourself. You have to now make do with 1 car. That's the other one. Now, this is the grind that one has to when you are not very sure also that every month you will get paid. That's how it is. Is it worth it? Now, the point over here is I would like to repeat it again and again that that's the life one would like to live. That's a personal passion as such. Because the gains that you get out of that is much more that you could possibly get in a corporate career. It's not only in terms of the money part of it, but more in terms of your experience. I have ready requirement from corporates who are looking for people who are failed who have failed in their startups. Why? Because they say that the person has gone through everything, right from posting the stamp on the envelope to finding out the customer to also seeing that how money should come in, from where to get the money as such. This is a very valuable experience that you can get. If you are able to go through this grind, but you require a lot of family support in that, this is very much essential because otherwise you will be a loner. And once you do that, you should definitely start. Now, the question is 13 to 15 years as such. People are doing it much lesser because maybe the responsibilities are also less and they are able to get into that. But to my mind, you can have a professional who has got even 40 years of experience can do a startup. Today, we are leading. India is leading as far as the unicorns are concerned. And more and more. In fact, I was just talking in the early part of the afternoon where the incubation center of IIT Guwahati has been, giving loans for the startups anywhere between 10 lakhs to 1 crore. So, and the government is promoting, as Vipul has very rightly pointed out, as such. They want more and more people who should get into these startups. So, please utilize this responsibility of being on your own. And you should be generating employment rather than looking out for jobs. That is what it would be. This is something which, from my personal experience, I can say, and for the experience which I have of seeing some of the people across industries. I've seen that, whether it's in financial services, it's in manufacturing, life sciences, healthcare, and technology, of course, very importantly. There you
Very,
find all the people coming up, and then they are, what you call starting their own enterprise.
very rightly said. Sooner the better. जितना जल्दी आप करते हो उतना अच्छा है. एंड यू राइटली सेड कि फैमिली सपोर्ट plays the very crucial role, because ultimately you are having responsibility of family also. But you rightly said sooner the better. And yes, startup is a good idea, not a, and government is also supporting by various means and ways. So it's very rightly said.
No,
So
people, another
now,
point over here. Sorry,
yeah, please,
I'd
please.
just like to add to what you have said is, uh, you see, most of us we get stuck as far as from where the money will come. That is what it is. That is the starting point. That one is identifying the project, and second is where the money is going to come, and how will I meet my expenses in the next 6 months. That's what it is. So a complete paradigm has to be shifted now. The thing would be that you have to look for what is it that I can forsake and postpone spending than what is needed to be spent now for the project. Once you get around that, your entire balance sheet would look very different. You see, so I think it starts all with the mind in terms of getting down and starting a whatever you can start with as such. I encourage people to even start a book lending business, you know. So why don't you do that as such? So today, because it's very easy now to people to ask for books, so fine, so but there is a margin that you attach to that. That's what you can do. So there are enough number of enterprises. It's only your imagination which is coming into the way. Just get it out of the way, and I'm sure you would be able to do that. Yes.
Very rightly said. So I think the next question is also, relevant to this one, that how can I choose a mentor for myself? No, it's this question is very apt for all, for everyone. So please answer that. How anyone can choose a mentor, and what is the importance of having a mentor?
See, as I mentioned, at the start of my session, is that if you get a mentor who is able to guide you, so it is more by accident than by design. That's what it is. But nowadays, it need not be. We have started an organization known as Growth Shift, GROWTH Shift, SHFT. The whole purpose of this is to provide mentors to especially the mid level executives. And there are two types of mentors over there. One is who is a functional expert, and the second one who is an HR career expert. Both of them will guide them through their rest of their career. Today, it is more scientific. Many of the people, so you have 5, 10, 15 years experience. Most of us look at Vipul's organization. When he says post a resume, they send only post a CV. So there is a world of a difference between a CV and a resume. That is one. Number two is we will scientifically prove to you that your LinkedIn profile and your profile that you send to the different organizations, what is the score of that? We'll be able to do that. So there is mentoring help nowadays, which is today available, and they can help you in doing that because it's now structured. You don't need to what you call hunt here and there as such. And there is a huge amount of knowledge which is available in the system. The only thing, of course, over here is that you normally trust people who are near you or people who are senior to you, you know, who have been your bosses in earlier jobs or even in the present job as such. That is one way. They are your well wishers. But what you require is not only who are your well wishers, but who can guide you and who are subject knowledge experts, which are there. So, unless you get that, like, for example, if you are in marketing, you need to have a subject matter expert in marketing. If you are in FMCG, the person should come from FMCG. Is in consumer durable, retail. So you have to pick on that. That is as far as your functional knowledge is concerned. In HR, you have to get into and talk to people who have mentored the career of X number of people. When they started, they were maybe product managers, and today they are vice president marketing. So if we have such examples coming in as to how we are able to do that, we should be able to do. It's a scientific exercise. It's no longer a guessing game, or it's not a probability game at all as such. Yeah.
सो यू राइटली से मैंने एक काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग कोट पढ़ा था थोड़ा कि या तो ठोकर खा के सीखो या तो ठाकुर से सीखो मतलब इट्स लाइक कि लर्न फ्रॉम द मिस्टेक और लर्न फ्रॉम दोज हु हैव डन द मिस्टेक एंड ही इज सेइंग यू कि डोंट डू दिस आई फेल्ड ऑन दिस सो यू डोंट रिपीट दिस सो दैट इज़ वॉट द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ हैविंग अ मेंटर दैट ही विल टीच यू कि मैंने ये गलती की थी आप मत करना so you will save on your time and you will get the lessons which he has learned throughout his life. So very rightly said, sir.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
there is a reverse side to it also. Just to continue with your talk, and that is, can you mentor somebody in your life? So you become a mentor. When you become a mentor to somebody, actually you yourself are learning.
true, true.
When you teach, you learn. So you learn more and
बोलते हैं ना
more.
कि ज्ञान नॉलेज शेयर करने से स्प्रेड करने से बढ़ता है सो इट्स लाइक
Yes,
ज्ञान बांटने से बढ़ता है सो यू राइटली सेड सर.
right, exactly. And just for that, devote maybe one day, maybe a Saturday, which I do, is where you do this pro bono mentoring with people. Even if one you take, that will become a habit. Actually, you are helping yourself by
True,
helping others.
true, true, very true, very rightly said. Yes, Rakesh ji, happy Holi. Thanks for joining in and thanks for wishing us a happy Holi. So now we will cover the live questions. Quite a few people have appreciated by showing their love on the chat. Hemant Kumar has wished us happy Holi. Rita has appreciated by saying that amazing session. Keep it up. Thank you. Ahmad has also appreciated that. Keep up the good work. Ahmad is also having one question, very interesting question. That is good resume important or good experience is more important? Many a time resume, CV, biodata, whatever you call, but bottom line is your CV. So CV is important. A good fascinating CV is important, or a realistic, practical, good experience is more important. What is your say on this, sir?
Yes. Yeah, let me answer this because this is also one of my favorite questions. You see, your resume is your marketing document. जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. So your resume has to be good, and your good experience. You see, you can't fake experience. Simple as that, as such. Because all your jobs that you have done, they will start with a verb. Please understand that. You see, maybe some of my colleagues in my team are also here. They will vouch for it. That unless it becomes an active thing, it doesn't lead. Led, have reduced costs, made more sales, turned around this. These are some of the things which you require to do. So your marketing document has got to be like a marketing document, which people will say, hey, I would like to do, what you call, see this person. And it should never be more than 2 pages. Because scientifically it has been proved that how many seconds the employer spend in seeing one resume. If you have a photograph, maybe 1 or 2 seconds more. But otherwise, it's like that. So you have to stand out. So good resume is very important. But how you explain the type of experience and you say good experience, that is also very important. You see, when you write 6 companies that you have worked for, and each of these companies I'm sure would be good, but can you give the website link of these companies so that immediately I can go and find out about these companies which I may not know enough? Do you do that? If you don't do that, then it's not happening. What are the digital skills that I have? If you're not giving that, then your resume is not complete. What are the 5 competencies which McKinsey has said are the future competencies? If those you are not scoring on those, then your resume is not complete. All this make a good resume. So that is where Vipul helps. That is where you will get your. So you have organizations like this where you take help. I don't know whether I
Yeah.
have been able to answer your question.
Yes, very rightly said. जो दिखता है वही बिकता है, and you should make your resume within 2 pages. You should, highlight the right things, and point to point discussion, bullet point discussion makes your resume more precise and more expressive. So very rightly said, sir. I think Pratham has one question, but we have covered it. He is asking that 20 years in pharma sales experience, shall I move to corporate manager role? So I think we have covered that. Yeah, we can. You should, if you feel that, right, sir.
Yeah, Pratham, what say you are in pharma sales and you have got, and you may be at the regional level as such, or you may be as the cluster head level. That is what it is. The corporate manager's role, you have to be very clear that what is that role. Otherwise, you will not enjoy it. Because when you are in the sales, every moment is exciting. And in corporate job, which you will be having, you will have to do lot of influencing the people there at the corporate office on the task that you have been given. So that requires a different skill altogether. Not that you cannot learn, but you have to slowly understand that's a different thing altogether. And as you grow, that corporate stint is very much required. You will require that sort of a thing, but you brace up with this. That it will not be morning may you phone up the distributor or your salespeople and all that. What is your target? Where are you going? What is your journey cycle? How do you want to do it? वो outstanding का क्या हुआ नहीं हुआ and all. This is not by which the corporate person will be looking at. Corporate people are looking more at tomorrow and day after. That's what it is, which is very important. So in your mind, you also have to make a shift besides the physical shift that you're talking about.
Yeah, well covered, sir. So, moving on with the, with the conclusion of our session. So, this is our tradition that please let us know your final words, your guru mantra, the small story which inspires you. So please share your final words with our audience.
The final word is that never underestimate anybody. You don't know that Tanaki, like whom you consider a zero, will be a hero. It has happened in real life. I'll just give you an example, and this I quote in every campus that I visit, and also to the corporate people as such. In 1991, I was invited for the company which I was working for to recruit management trainees. I went to ITM Ghaziabad. And in ITM Ghaziabad, at that point in time, when we had a panel of 3 people, one was myself, I was from HR, then we had a person from marketing, and the third person was from operations. So we went, we had finished, and we which we had done a group discussion, we had done a personal interview, and then we handed over the list of the people who have been shortlisted. And when we handed that over to the person who was coordinating in the campus, one boy came running. And that boy said that, sir. I said, what happened? Well, I would like to be interviewed again. So we are really, like, but you have already been interviewed. You said, no, I was not very happy with the group discussion, because in the group discussion, everybody was out shouting somebody else, and I am not very comfortable in that. So I could not place my words, which I wanted to do. So then we asked the coordinator that, look, this person says that he is not interested to, what you call, to be shortlisted, but he wants to be heard. So I have looked at my colleagues and said, do you mind spending a little time with him? Well, they, no, we don't mind. And the coordinator also said, you see, if he's not interested, in getting placed, so you may as well do that. So 8 o'clock in the evening, we went to the classroom, and at that point in time, we didn't have laptops and all. It was OHP, over at projector. And three of us, we were sitting, and this boy walks in, and he doesn't have slides, or he doesn't have those acetate sheets which we used to have. He comes with a placard around his neck, and he says, मैं अपनी कहानी आपको बताना चाहता हूँ. And this person, he's speaking in Hindi with an accent, because he's from Uttaranchal Pradesh. So Pahadi accent is there. They have a beautiful accent which is there. So he went on कि मैं स्कूल मास्टर का लड़का हूँ, मेरे भाई है, मेरा बड़ा भाई, वो उसने मेरे को पढ़ाया है, मेरे पिताजी ने भी पैसा दिया है, पर 10 किलोमीटर दूर स्कूल में जाना पड़ता था, और उसके बाद जाके मैंने अपना ग्रेजुएशन किया. ग्रेजुएशन के बाद then I had what to do. So people said, why don't you become an MBA, take on a qualification MBA, that at least some job you will get. Because government jobs are out of question, because they have other, ways of, what you call, looking at you, because of society, this one, demarcations. So he said he applied, and he got through also to IMT Ghaziabad MBA program. But in the class, when he was, Coons O'Donnell, Philip Kotler was being spoken, it was all in English. And this boy said, look, मेरे तो एकदम कुछ पल्ले ही नहीं पड़ रहा था कि क्या बात हो रही है. उसके बाद मैं अपने दोस्तों से बोलता था कि भाई मेरे को समझा दो. तो कुछ लोगों ने तो मेरे को समझाया हिंदी में. टीचर्स लोगों में से एक टीचर होगा, उसने बोला कि ठीक है, ओके, आई विल स्पेंड सम टाइम विथ यू एंड आई विल what you call help you out. So now we asked him the question, तुम्हारे जिंदगी का ध्येय क्या है? तो उस लड़के ने ये जवाब दिया, वो भी कितना 21 साल का लड़का होगा. उसने बोला कि जो मैन्युफैक्चरर है वो वही बनाएगा जो एक कंज्यूमर मांगता है, और कंज्यूमर को वही मिलेगा जो वो चाहता है. मैं इन दोनों के बीच में मैं काम करना चाहता हूं. ये कैसे संभव होगा? माइंड यू, एट दैट एज आई हैव नेवर हर्ड इन माय लाइफ टिल नाउ a person talking like that. I'm talking about a person who is Prasun Joshi. You see, this is how it is. Who becomes the chairman of the most English-speaking, company, which is McCann Advertising Agency. So, सब कुछ संभव है. किसी को don't write off. If you have this maxim, then you are there. Thank you.
Wow, very very well inspiring story सर. एंड ये सेशन का अंत या एंडिंग इससे अच्छा हो ही नहीं सकता था. सो इट वाज वेल इंस्पायरिंग स्टोरी सर. थैंक यू सो मच for giving your precious time and sharing your 35 more than 35 years experience. You have shared stories and real life examples ki, you've seen people growing from zero to hero, and that is very inspiring, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very
Ki-
much. Thank you for the opportunity. And thank you, all the participants, to giving a patient hearing. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
very
We
much.
would. Yes, sir.
All the
We
best.
would love to have you again on this forum with some another topic. So, till then, sir. Thank you so much. See you, sir. Thank
Right?
you. Yeah.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
यस थैंक यू ऑडियंस आई एम श्योर आप लोगों को काफ़ी इंस्पिरेशन मिली होगी, काफ़ी नॉलेज मिला होगा, काफ़ी कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी थी कि रियल लाइफ एग्जांपल्स थे. गीतांजलि जी, थैंक यू फॉर द अप्रिशिएशन. या सो रियल लाइफ एग्जांपल्स थे जो आपको जानने को मिला होगा. सो कीप ट्यूनिंग इन every Friday 5 p.m. We will be inviting different industry experts every week, every Friday 5 p.m. So do subscribe our YouTube channel Vipul the Wonderful. If you are watching on YouTube, if you are watching on Facebook or LinkedIn, then follow us there for our regular updates. This session is powered by Post Resume HR Consultancy. We are into recruitment services since 2007, providing recruitment services across India, Africa, and Gulf. So, if you're looking for any career guidance, then do connect us. Do connect with us. We will definitely help you. If you're looking for talent solutions for your organizations, then also connect with us. We will surely help you with best of talents available in the market. And if you are having a huge experience, and if you feel that you have the spirit to share your experience, share your knowledge with our audience, with this world, I can say, because the session is being live telecasted on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So if you feel that you have that spirit to share your experience, or if you know someone who has the spirit to share his experience, then do connect them or with us. If you are interested, then do DM me, do connect with me. We will definitely would love to have you on our session, and we would love to share your experience with our audience. So till then, stay blessed, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and again wishing you happy Holi. Thank you so much for joining in today. Goodbye.